Respectfully, why the hell do you guys have middle school, high school, elementary school children with wigs and weave in their head? I literally seen a high school girl that looked older than me. You guys have your children, your black children of women looking like grown adult with the big lashes, with the wigs, with the long nails. Got these girls looking like grown adults.
Everything is wigs. Nobody wants to wear their hair anymore. What have we done and where did we go wrong where our middle schoolers and high schoolers are starting school with their natural hair covered completely up? Not out at all. They are wearing their hair like they going to get ready for a club or a concert. Nobody is wearing the styles that we're used to. And then the ones that dare to go to school like that, one out of hundreds of girls, they make fun of her and say she looks like a little kid. We need to reverse this. We need to fix this. I don't like seeing it. As in, as a mom, an older sister, an auntie, I just don't like seeing it.
Honestly, I don't like seeing it either. And I think it's the combination of the lace fronts with the full face of makeup, with the lashes, with the nails. I mean, all this for 7th and 8th graders, like that's just mind blowing to me. Let's talk about it today. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. On this channel, we like to talk about today's trending topics or whatever happens to be on my mind. Either way, I'm so glad that you're here. If you could please take a moment to hit both the like and subscribe button, I would truly appreciate it. So what is a real issue with young girls wearing wigs and lashes? Are they really trying to just look older, or are we really just a bunch of aunties who are just old-fashioned and out of touch? Or are the girls just learning to hate their natural hair? And is this trend really just the parents' fault at the end of the day, and we should be directing a lot of our disapproval and disdain towards the parents and not so much the kids? Let's take a closer look.
Where did we go wrong where our girls feel that any hairstyle that highlights being black and beautiful or brown and beautiful is not the thing? They need to have their hair as straight and as blonde as possible to not be made fun of. We need to reverse this.
So first off, young black girls wanting to alter their hair is nothing new. That's something that just goes back generations. In fact, in the 90s, when I was in middle school, I actually started the 6th grade off with a perm, or a relaxer as they call it. But I got my first relaxer when I was only 11 years old. But that's because it was more of a rite of passage, especially in the 90s. You would typically, for a young girl to typically go with her mom to the beauty salon or whatever and get her first relaxer and straighten her hair, because going into middle school, obviously as a girl, you want to look less like a little girl and more like a teenager. So I understand the need for girls at this age, especially to want to have straightened hair and not necessarily their natural hair. That makes sense to me. But I also understand the downsides and what comes with that. But let somebody who's much younger than me talk about this.
Young black girls should not be wearing wigs, and from ages 13 to 17 should definitely not be wearing wigs. I would even push it to say up to 19, you should not put a wig on your head. And the reason I say this is that it is feeding into the lack of self-confidence that young black girls have day in and day out. Because there is no way that you are going to allow your child, because these are children, put on a wig and understand the beauty of her own crown. It is impossible.
I couldn't have said it more perfectly myself. She said that there is no way that you as a parent are going to be able to put a wig on your own child and also help them to understand the beauty of their own crown. It is impossible. Let's let her continue.
And the fact that you're allowing them to neglect their natural hair by not understanding it, by hiding it under a wig at such a young age, I put a bigger blame on the parents and other black women and other young black girls who peer pressure other young black girls in order to thinking a wig is going to make them more attractive. And it also feeds into the fact that young black boys will also see this and say that, okay, in order for them to find their own their own race attractive is with straight hair. And you're pushing this ideology and this thought process that we are trying to break. We are trying to break the chain that black hair is not beautiful. But it feels like every single time we try to break that chain, there is something else being used to hide it. First it was relaxer. Relaxer was what was pushed for young black girls. We're put relaxer in your hair, put relaxer in your hair. And now it's wigs.
Yes, exactly. As I was saying before, that was more my generation back in the 90s where we lived for the relaxers. It was terrible. The goal was to get the hair straight. The goal was to get the hair bone straight as possible, and to have the hair as long as possible. And that was what was considered the norm. So really, we did not set the best example.
And I think wigs are entirely worse because the fact that your hair is in its natural state, but you're not even be able to see it or even understand how it actually operates and how it grows and how to take care of it because you keep putting a wig on top is more detrimental. And all this is going to allow is for when these little girls grow older to realize that they actually do not like their natural hair, and it repeats the cycle that we are constantly trying to break.
Perfectly said. We just keep repeating the cycle. Because I thought that once relaxers fell out of fashion and I didn't see any of my friends' daughters put relaxers in their hair, I thought, okay, this is progress. The younger generation is doing better than us. They should do better than we did. But then not only did the wigs come out, but the lashes and everything else too. So who is ultimately responsible for these kind of trends for young girls? Aren't we, the adult women, really the ones who are influencing these girls to get wigs, weaves, and lashes? I mean, are they really, at the end of the day, just wanting to emulate us? I mean, I wear my natural hair, but that's only because it's the summertime and it's too hot to do anything else. But any other time of the year, I straighten my hair, or I will rock a wig at any moment. I love wearing wigs. I also have worn lashes before. So aren't they just copying what they're seeing us do?
Tell you something. If your daughter is in middle school wearing a wig and lashes, you have the problem. I promise you have the problem. If your daughter is in middle school and have a beauty supply budget more than your electric bill, and you stupid to do it. You crazy. 7th graders shouldn't be doing that anyway. But when you really think about it, some parents are raising an influence. That's what they're raising, an influence. That's what it is. But you can't find a pencil on Monday. Make that make sense. Middle school babies should be asking for snacks, not lace glue. You're buying lace fronts, but they report card come home looking like a crime scene. Y'all stupid. To be honest with you, middle school, they shouldn't even be wearing no wigs or lashes. That part, y'all make that make sense to me. Make it make sense, please.
Now, I don't know if she meant influencer or the parents are raising their kids to be influencers, because there is some truth to that. I mean, that is the culture we are living in right now. And girls who are in middle school are the most susceptible to social media influence, experiencing this particular phase of life in a way that we never had to. We never had to go through an awkward phase online for the whole world to see. So the younger generation of girls must be feeling a certain amount of pressure that just has to be overwhelming. But should the parents just give in and just get the lashes? I mean, does that solve the problem? All I know is that we have our loved one, as I said in my earlier videos, that has just started the 6th grade. She gets braids, and seems happy to just have the braids for now. But will that change? I, for one, can't even imagine her with a full face of makeup. Like, I can't even process that. I mean, she is way too young. Like, lashes? Absolutely. She's in the 6th grade. When I think about her, I'm like, oh, no, that's crazy. Like, these girls are way too young, in my opinion, for such adult women's beauty standards. But you all go ahead and drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I so appreciate you. Please be sure to hit that like button on your way out. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time,